Stade Rennais are well known for their youth academy. The Henry Guarin Training Centre, which was formed in 2000, has produced such notable talents as Ousmane Dembele, Eduardo Camavinga, Johan Gourcuff, Yaman Villa, Moussa Sow, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Sylvain Wiltord and Jimmy Briand. The reputation of the Stade Rennais Youth Academy is so good that even the French Football Federation themselves recognised Rennes as having the best youth academy in the country back in 2010. This year's starting 11 regularly has featured Adrien Tafer at 18 years old, Jeremy Doku also at 18, and of course Eduardo Camavinga, who's just 17 years old playing defensive midfield. Don't think that Rennes are all about the youth though. Steven Nzonzi anchors the midfield alongside Camavinga at 31 years old, and at centre-back 32-year-old Damien Da Silva has featured heavily this season. The squad itself actually has a pretty good balance of talent, young prospects and good experience, with Nzonzi as previously mentioned, also Grenier, Camavinga, Gboho and plenty of other players about to hit their peak or already at their peak. Their finances are good and they do have a decent transfer budget, so you won't have to solely rely on your youth academy to find new players. Something that Rennes have done recently is sign young players from other teams, Doku being the most obvious example, having signed last summer from Anderlecht for €26 million. They managed a third place finish in the cut short 2019 to 2020 season, only 6 points off second place Marseille. However, the current season hasn't gone so well for Rennes. They find themselves in 8th place and are currently on a loss streak of 4 games. As you'd expect, this has led to the manager losing his job, so the time's perfect for you to jump in and lead this team to glory. As most of us already play career mode in this way, the most realistic way to play as Rennes would simply be signing 3 5-star youth scouts and buying the occasional 30 plus or under 23 player to shore up any holes you find in your team. Recently they have signed some very good young players such as Doku, Sarr and Rafinha, but they have relied on their youth academy with Camavinga and Ousmane Dembele, who both provided instant impacts when they came into the Rennais first team. The 30 plus option is only there if you have a big hole and you can't see anyone in your youth academy ready to slot into this position in the near future. To make things extra interesting, Rennes actually start off in the Champions League after this third place finish last season. It's the first time in their history they've made it to the Champions League. They were in a group with Sevilla, Chelsea and Krasnodar from Russia. Unfortunately for the Breton club, they only drew 1 game and lost the other 5, finishing with a single point from their 6 Champions League games. Of course, your challenge here is to simply do better than that and maybe win their first ever Champions League game. The chances are Camavinga and Doku are going to be vital for your team going through the whole career mode, but with the youth academy being so generous to high potential players, it's likely you'll find some players to fit in around them. Clermont Grenier at attacking midfield is 29 and not the best player in the team, same with Nzonzi at 31, so these are probably going to be the 2 first positions you want to upgrade, defensive mid and central attacking midfielder. Luckily, these are 2 positions where there are a lot of wonder kids that you can sign and would be realistic for Rennes, and of course a lot of the high potential players in FIFA this year are French. Going for someone like Michael Olise at Reading could be a good central attacking midfielder and also play on the opposite wing to Doku. And it's more than possible you'll be able to sign someone like Guendouzi on loan from Arsenal, who'd be a more than good enough defensive midfielder once he reaches his potential. Nurturing 18-year-old Adrien Tafer to be a starting left back, although he can also play left wing, will also be important for your team going forwards. His potential is in the low 80s, so if he plays well, the chances are you can get him to around 85 with a dynamic potential. If you're more interested in re-signing ex-players, you've got of course Ismaila Sarr from Watford, who's high 80s potential, same with Rafinha and Ousmane Dembele. People like Edouard Mendy and Yoris Gnagnon at Sevilla are both going to be good enough to win the Champions League. Jeremy Boga at Sassuolo used to play for Rennes, as did Timothée Bakayoko, who's on loan at Napoli, and if you want to blast from the past, Hatem Ben Arfa is another former player. So with a squad that's already good enough to be the best of the rest in League 1 as they were last season, the real goal of a Rennes save is to try and win the league for the first time. With PSG being one of the best teams in the whole game, this is going to be more difficult than you can imagine, But in FIFA, there's not many better feelings than beating PSG with a team of homegrown youth players. Can you prove that your eye for talent is better than PSG's infinite money? I don't think you'll find a better save to find out than this one. So that's my quick rundown on why I think Stade Rennais is probably the best youth academy only save you can do in FIFA. They already start off at a high level with really good players, so if you're not interested in doing the 10 plus seasons that it might take you to get out of League 2 to the Premier League, then this is a good easy way to start off already good level. It also gives you a chance to use players like Camavinga, who are going to be one of the best players in the world in a couple of seasons, unless he flops a bit like Renato Sanchez did. You could honestly probably win the Champions League just by keeping the players you already start off with most of them already having enough potential to win the Champions League, especially Camavinga and Doku, as I've mentioned multiple times. I would recommend keeping hold of them because when they peak, they're going to be Champions League winning level players. With Grenier really being the main man in the team, who takes all your free kicks, short free kicks, penalties, corners, it might be worth keeping him around until you do get a youth player who's better, especially as French football does like to have a nice old centre attacking midfield running things in the middle. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video, so I hope you enjoyed and I hope you give Rennes a good thought next time you're starting a new career. They're definitely a team that I highly recommend you give a go, so consider them if you do decide to end your current career modes. But for today's video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.